Welcome to another edition of Mark's Inspiration. Glad you could join me here today as always. Today we're going to continue with The Power Is Within, the book I wrote, available on Amazon. Pick up your copy today, and we are on chapter 9. Smash that like button and subscribe. We have a video coming out every day that I know will be of value to you. So here we go, chapter 9. The power is within. Remove the gate. Bypassing the conscious mind and allowing our subconscious mind to guide us activates and accesses our powerhouse of belief. The trick is to shut down the gatekeeper. This is a counterintuitive process that leads you to a place of operating based on your intuition. Let's say you have a goal to become a rock star. You've written out all the things you think you need to do in the order you need to do them. What lessons you should take, who you should seek out to practice with, what connection to make in the industry, how long you think the process should take, and the list goes on. With a great deal of effort, you begin slogging through the items on your list. And in a short while, you find yourself at a place where you've done a lot but accomplished little. There's nothing wrong with making a list of steps. Nothing wrong with performing the tasks on such a list. Those are reasonable and rational steps to take at the beginning of any long process. But those are only rational steps, and they will only get you so far. It takes intuition, that guiding force inside you, to break through the plateaus. At a certain point on this journey to becoming a rock star, a thought might pop into your head to reach out to an old buddy you haven't seen in years. Maybe this seems unrelated, a passing whim out of the blue, but the thought occurred nonetheless. What do you do with it? If you're like most, your rational brain will kick in, trying to protect you from wasting your time. It's been 10 years, you'll say. I don't even know what he's up to anymore, and we never had all that much in common. I don't know if I want that in my life right now, especially with everything I'm trying to accomplish. Ah yes, rationalization, justification. The logical mind will destroy your chances of becoming what you want to become, because it tries to figure everything out with limited information. It cannot see the big picture, but there's a part of you that can see the big picture, and you have to trust that part of you. That's your higher self, God if you like. Rather than accepting that the thought had entered your mind for a reason, you take one rational step at a time away from the guidance of your infinite intelligence. I think my camera's a little crooked here. Let me straighten this up. There you go. Okay. You shut your eyes to the bigger picture that your conscious mind cannot see. What your interconnected self knows is that since the last time you saw this buddy, he started a band of considerable success. He's now home from a tour and he is looking for a new drummer because theirs flaked out with a drug problem. What your rational mind blinded you to was the vibrations your old buddy was putting out into the universe for a new drummer. Vibrations that matched your own desire to become a drummer in a rock band. That vibration came to you in the subtlest form, a thought seemingly out of the blue, and you ignored it. You were too focused on accomplishing the tasks of becoming a rock star in the next 6 months to realize that the universe had already prepared a perfect opportunity for you to be one now. Isn't it amazing how we see the birds fly, they migrate, and they know where to go? Some of them return to the same place every year to reproduce or to nest. And we see all this in nature, these intuitive forces in nature, but yet we act like we don't even have them. And even worse yet, if we do feel that we have them, we don't trust them. We have been taught to trust our logical, rational minds. Logic and rationale has a place, of course. There's a purpose for it. We need it. But we trust in it far too much and trust way too less in our intuitive mind, the higher part of us that knows. Haven't some of you, well, okay, how about this? Has some of you ever known that it was going to rain, even though there wasn't a cloud in the sky? You knew it, you could feel it. Some of you can tell what time it is without looking at a clock. I know I can. I get pretty close within a couple minutes. These are all things that we all have, these knowings that we have, but we've not used them, or we rely on modern technology. Here's a good one here. I can add and subtract better in my head than most young people can, or quicker than they can get their calculator out and do it, because I use my brain. When I lived in Central America, there was a grocery store there with thousands of items. And these girls at the registers didn't have barcodes, they didn't have a price list, they didn't have anything. They memorized the prices. Once in a while, you would see one of them ask a girl in the next lane, hey, what's the price of this? And she would tell them. But I'm telling you, they knew those prices. And when they changed prices, they didn't have a barcode to scan or anything. They used their mind. The mind is a powerful thing. We only use, they say, about 10% of it. Some of us less, maybe some of us more. But we have such capabilities in our mind that we negate with logic and reason. Some of the greatest inventors of all time said they got their ideas just almost like seemingly they came out of the blue. Now, they were studying and trying to figure out how to create something, or there was a part of the creation that they were working on that they couldn't quite get, and it came to them as in a dream or just a thought out of nowhere. This is the intuitive mind reaching out to them. But you have to remember, when you get these thoughts, they don't come to you logically, usually written out, hey, this is what you're looking for, exactly as you need it. It's something that sometimes doesn't even seem to correlate with the situation you're trying to solve, or the product, or whatever you're trying to create. You have to be open-minded enough to recognize these strange thoughts that come into your mind. And you have to trust. You have to trust this intuitive part of you. But as I said, so many of us have relied so much on modern technology, we have forgotten how to listen to this inner voice. Haven't you ever been leaving your house and thought, oh, I better get this before I leave? And then you stopped and thought, well, I'm not going to need that for anything. There's no reason for me to get that. So you get in your car and you leave. And then for some strange reason that you couldn't even foreseen, you needed this item that your intuitive mind told you needed, but you negated it with logic and you didn't bring it with you. And now there you are. You didn't listen. I've done that many times, but I'm starting to listen. And there have been times when I picked up the item and took it with me and I didn't need it. And there have been times when things didn't work out right, or seemingly they didn't. And then I end up getting extra something or another, or taking something that someone gave me that I really didn't think I would ever need. And then lo and behold, down the road, it was a good thing that I took it, because I did have a need for it, or someone else had a need for it. It was just the thing I needed. So these things aren't coincidences. Some people used to say coincidence was God's way of remaining anonymous. And that makes a lot of sense. God can see the big picture, or higher self, divinity. When I say the word God, don't think of religion, because I'm not a religious man. It's a term I use. It makes it easy to speak about these things. But you can substitute any name you like. Creative intelligence, higher self, divinity, universe, nature, whatever works for you. For everything is connected. Let's call it the all. It's everything. It's you, it's me, it's this camera, it's this video, it's everything. Everything is all one. Now, I don't really understand that, but I kind of have a grasp of it. but everything somehow is connected. What you see as solid is not really solid at all. It has a consciousness. It is vibrating electrons, vibrating at certain rates of speed, and some look solid. Some of it is like thoughts or vibrations. Everything is vibrations. Who was it? Tesla said, I'm going to read it off my wall. Here it is. If you wish to understand the universe, think of energy, frequency, and vibration. Hold the thoughts for a prolonged period of time and practice becoming the vibrational match to what your desire, to what your desire is. It's written in every spiritual text. Yeah, okay. I couldn't quite see it from here, but you get the picture. You must become the vibrational match to what it is you want to attract into your life. That's why sometimes people say, I want this beautiful woman who's patient, kind, loving. What are you? Are you patient, kind, and loving? Are you beautiful? Yes, even as a man. Are you beautiful? Are you handsome? What I mean by that is you can't do anything about how you were born or how you look, but you can, well, you can to a certain degree. As a man, you can work out, you can stay in shape, you can make sure your teeth are brushed, you can make sure your hair is nice, your beard's trimmed, you wear nice clothes, so there's a lot you can do about how you look. But as far as a man goes, women are attracted to inner strength and inner qualities more so than outer. So that's something you can change about yourself. But we're getting way off track here. That's all I have time for today. We'll talk on that another day. Thanks for joining me. As I said, hit that like button, subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow.